Hi athletes, and welcome to your 2023 Kill Creek Park Triathlon and Duathlon and Aquabike pre-race athlete briefing. So we're going to start at the beginning, packet pickup, and run all the way through race day, results, photos, all of those things. So bear with me for the next 10 to 15 minutes and we'll get through all of this information for you. Packet pickup is going to take place on Friday, the day before the race at Mill Creek Activity Center. That's in Shawnee from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We will accept late registrations and transfers at packet pickup. However, we will not be accepting late registrations on race day. So do not show up at Kill Creek Park on Saturday, August 12th and expect to get registered for this race. Saturday on-site packet pickup will take place starting at 5:30 a.m. when the gates open to the park all the way up until 7:25 a.m. I'd highly suggest if you're picking up on race morning, don't wait until 7:25 a.m. Transition will close at 7:25. It's going to be really difficult to get all of your stuff in there if you don't know what your race number is. So like I said, no late registrations on event day, and give yourself plenty of time if you're picking up on race morning. In order to pick up your packet, you don't need your USAT card or anything like that, but you do need an ID to get your race packet. And per USAT rules, only you are allowed to pick up your race packet, not your husband, not your wife, not your grandma, no one else but you, unless you are under the age of 18 and this person is your parent or guardian. So athlete guide, you guys should have received this by now. Please make sure that you read it. It's not a ton of information, but it should answer all of the questions that you have. If you still have a question, please ask it on the Facebook page or shoot it to me via an email. But I guarantee if you have a question regarding something that maybe isn't in that athlete guide, then someone else is going to have it too. So asking on social media is your best bet. You're also going to have some discounts included in that athlete guide for a couple of our sponsors. So Kurt's Bars has a discount in there for you, as well as Bike Stop. So make sure if you need to get your bike tuned up, you hit up Bike Stop with that discount prior to race day, prior to the day before race day, and get all those things done. So your race packet, when you come to packet pickup and you pick up your race packet, it's going to include lots of different information. So you'll have your bib, your safety pins, your helmet sticker, your bike tag. I'm going to show you in a second where all of those things go. Your swim cap, you have to wear it on race day. Your shirt, if you need to exchange sizes for any reason, please visit us at the information area, which will be inside the beach house, and we can exchange for you if we have them after the race. Don't try before, it gets a little hairy before, but visit us after the race. You're not going to receive your timing chip in your race packet this year. You'll pick that up on race morning, but I'm going to cover that in a second. So information that's going to be in your race packet, all of these things. This little sticker is your helmet sticker. It's going to go on the front of your helmet. Pretend I have a helmet right there. Your bib. You're going to wear this during the run portion of the race. It needs to be pinned to the front of your shirt or shorts, or you can put it on a race belt. We have to be able to see it. Lastly, your bike tag. This is going to go around your seat post. If your seat post is not high enough under your seat, you can do the bar that runs between your handlebars and your seat. All of those things have to be on there. Swim cap, you have to obviously wear it during the swim. This is what your timing chip's going to look like. It's going to go on your left ankle. Like I said, it's not going to be in your race packet. May not match the number that you have on your bib. That's totally fine. So where are we? Talking about race morning. Like I said, give yourself plenty of time if you're picking up on race morning. Even if you're not picking up on race morning, make sure that you have all of the items that you need. You've gone through your checklist. You've made sure you have everything in your bag or however you're going to get it there, and then give yourself plenty of time. Gates are going to open at 5:30. Like I said, timing chips are going to be picked up on race morning. That's going to be located near bike mount dismount, which will be on the north side, bike mount, which will be on the north side of the parking lot. So as you enter on race morning, make sure that you get body marked and that you also get your timing chip. So two different things that you have to get. You don't want to race without a timing chip because that means you really didn't race. National anthem, we're going to present that right at 7:30 in the morning, and then we will kick off the first athletes into the water. You can see what athletes are going into the water by looking at your heat sheet, and that'll be in your athlete guide. Parking, gates are going to open at 5:30. You'll be designated to park in certain lots. So this race is a little bit trickier for us to get all of you in. So please make sure that you follow the directions of the parking attendants and the park police as we try to shuffle you to all of the different lots, and make sure that you park as close as you possibly can safely. So for the safety of all the athletes participating in this event, parking lots are going to remain closed and barricaded until the last athlete has exited the bike course. Again, this is for your safety. So if you decide that you need to leave early, you're not going to be able to get out of these parking lots to make sure that every single athlete is safe. We don't have a designated time for that yet, but please make sure that you stay tuned for announcements on race day, and we'll announce as soon as transition can open and as soon as you can start to leave the race. So transition will open when the park gates open at 5:30 a.m. and it's going to close to all athletes at 7:25 a.m., which means that you need to have all of your items inside of that gated off transition area prior to that time. We will clear it and no athletes will be allowed in or out of there unless you are participating in the race and have come out of swim or come off the bike and going into the run. It will reopen when the last cyclist has safely exited the bike course. We expect that, like I said, I don't really have a designated time, but I expect that to be around 9:30. Hopefully it's a little bit before, but please bear with us. Again, this is for athlete safety. So bike rack diagram that's located in your athlete guide at this point just says where aquabike's going to be, where teams are going to be, where triathletes and duathletes are going to be. As we get closer to race day, I would say 2 days out, maybe 3 days out, I'll be able to release a more detailed and updated bike rack diagram, which will actually tell you what number you are and then where you're going to be located inside of transition. But based on the fact that we take several registrations all the way up until race day, it's tricky to do that right now. So stay tuned to social media, your email. We'll get that out to you guys. It'll also be posted inside of the transition area on race morning. Your team racks. So any of you participating in a team, whether it be for the duathlon or the triathlon, you're all going to rack together on the northeast side of the transition area, and those racks will be labeled as team. There's a team box that'll be located in that area as well, so all of the timing chip transfers have to take place within that team box. There are no bikes that are allowed inside that team box, so if your swimmer is coming out of the swim or your first runner is coming back from their first run and you're the cyclist, you need to retrieve that chip from them inside the team box and then go get your bike. You can have your bike shoes and your helmet and all of those things on, but we do not allow bikes inside of that team box. It will be marked with chalk on the ground and we'll have an orange team box flag that will designate it. So inside transition, we are doing 8 bikes on each rack. Please make sure that you're courteous with your space. Keep all of your items to the right of your front wheel, and bikes are going to alternate. And alternate means one faces this way, the next one faces this way, then this way, and this way, and this way. We'll share a picture of that to make sure that you're clear. But that's the biggest mistake sometimes that we see athletes do, is they all face their bikes in the same direction, and then that makes them not fit as well on the bike racks. So our volunteers will be walking around transition to make sure that you guys know what that means. Please make sure that you take a look at the photos that we're going to share regarding how transition needs to be set up. Look it up, Google it, YouTube it. There's tons of videos out there, but make sure that you're courteous with your space. So swim enter will be on the west side of transition. You'll run up the beach, out the gate, and then we call it swim enter, but there's swim exit flags for you to run through. Bike mount will be on the north side of transition, and bike dismount will be on the south side. Huge thing inside of transition is there's absolutely no riding your bike, so you need to run or walk your bike until you get to those flags. Anytime you're on your bike, including when you're riding from your car down to the transition area, put a helmet on. We want to keep your brains inside your head. There's cyclists, there's pedestrians, there's vehicles, there's lots of different things happening inside the park, and always, so please make sure that anytime you're on your bike, you always wear your helmet. Run exit will be on the west side of transition, and that's really close to where you're coming in from the swim. Bike stop will be located near the bike mount line, so if you have any issues on race day that they can help you with, granted, they're not going to be able to do a ton on site, so if you need a tune-up, go get a tune-up, but outside of that, they'll be out there to help you as much as they possibly can on race day. And then information, if you need anything from us, our staff will be located inside of the beach house. So you're going to start on the west side of the beach, according to the heat sheet. Look in your athlete guide. You're going to line up based on your 100-meter swim pace time. There's going to be signs on the beach for you to line up next to. We'll try to send you in the water 2 at a time every 3 to 5 seconds. Relay teams, your swimmer is going to line up based on their pace time. So we don't have a relay start wave. They're just going to start with the individuals. Duathletes, you're going to start with me on the trail to the north side of the beach house near the green start flag. So I will meet you over there for your first run. Swim course. I'm going to say right now there's no wetsuits. It's been insanely hot. So please just note that in the back of your mind that no wetsuits. We will make that call as we get closer to race day. But you can look up what those wetsuit legal rules are on the USAT website. As of right now, we don't meet any of those rules. You're always going to swim with the buoys on your left. There'll be 2 big buoys that you're going to swim around, and then life safety staff will be on your right-hand side. There's an abundance of life safety staff in the water, so if you need to stop, hang on to a boat, chat with one of them, that's totally fine as long as they're not helping you make forward progress. And then you can continue on. You will not be disqualified. Your first transition, so the triathlon, you guys are going to exit on the east side of the beach. You're going to run up through the chute, out the gates into transition. You're going to enter the transition area through the swim exit flags. Those are red flags. Duathletes, you're going to enter through the run exit flags. Bike mount, we've said this a couple times at this point, but will be on the north side of transition, and dismount will be on the south side of transition. Again, there's absolutely no riding your bikes inside the transition area, so please walk or run those to the flags. When you come back out of the bike, make sure that you dismount before you get to those red flags. No headphones are permitted on the bike course. If we see headphones, you're immediately disqualified. Again, that's for the safety of yourself as well as every other athlete. So when you're in the park, this is huge to note for you. You're gonna ride on the left side of the road. When you're out on the county roads, you will ride on the right side. So inside the park, pretend you're in London and you're gonna ride on the left side of the road. Outside of the park, you're gonna be normal. You're back in Johnson County, you're in Olathe, you're gonna ride on the right-hand side of the road. Keep in mind that you need to obey every traffic law that's out there. These roads are open. You're gonna possibly encounter some vehicles. They are being monitored. So every intersection is either monitored by the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, the JCPRD Park Police, or Johnson County Med Act. But just keep in mind that you might encounter something like that. You also might encounter, we send postcards out to all of the residents in the area, but you might encounter a dog or an animal. Just please be cautious, please be aware. There are no aid stations out on that bike course. Arrows have been placed at each turn that you need to make, so that is in advance of you making that turn, so you know where to turn. And then we've also shared a Garmin Connect and a Map My Run course route for you, so you can download those to your devices and make sure that you're on the right route on that day. So run course, all athletes are going to exit transition and begin their run through the run exit flags on the northwest side of transition. You're going to follow the arrows on the ground. You can also follow the signs, those colors. So I just showed you a green bib. The green bibs are the duathletes. You're going to follow the green arrows on the run course. Triathletes are purple bibs. You're going to follow the purple arrows on the run course. Aid stations are going to have both water and Gatorade at both of them. You should hit 2. There'll be 2 aid stations, which you will hit a total of 3 times, I believe. Be sure to study the course maps. Make sure that you know what those courses are. It is your responsibility to know those courses, so we can only lead you so far. Safety, bags must not be left unattended outside of the transition area. So any bags left unattended will be searched by our park police and then moved to a secure location inside of the beach house with staff. Finish line. So after you cross your finish line, you get your medal, you take your really wonderful picture. Please make sure that you save some energy for that finish line. I'm notorious for never taking great race photos. So save some energy for the finish line so that you smile when you come across it. But Kona Ice is free for all athletes and for volunteers. If you've got friends or family coming to join you on race day, make sure that they bring a card or some cash. They can buy Kona Ice as well. We also have Highland Dairy providing chocolate milk. Hy-Veus graciously provided us with fruit. And then we have bottled water out there provided by our wonderful hydration sponsor, FedEx. So your results and photos. Results will be available to be printed inside of the beach house. Awards are also going to be presented on the beach. And then results will be posted on mtechresults.com. And that's tech without an H, so mtecresults.com. That's also included in your athlete guide. Photos that are tagged to your bib will also be uploaded there. So you should be able to immediately on Saturday look for your race photos. And then we will have an entire photo dump later in the week of all of the additional photos that weren't tagged. So recapping again, things to remember. So your gates are going to open to the park at 5:30 in the morning. Arrive early so you have plenty of time to get set up. Transition's going to close at 7:25 whether you're in there or not. Any and all spectators coming to the park to watch, including yourself, must be in the park by 7:25 a.m. Otherwise, nobody else is getting in. And again, that's for the safety of the athletes. Per USAT rules, there's absolutely no drafting allowed in this race. Study the maps. We just talked about this. It's your responsibility to know the course. We can only lead you so far. You must race with your timing chip to receive a time. Please ensure that you return your timing chip to the volunteers once you've completed your race. Volunteers are going to be stationed at the finish line to take these chips from you so we can get them back to our timing company. Make sure you guys share the athlete guide with your friends and family. There's a whole section in there for spectators. And then make sure on race day, please thank those volunteers for coming out and joining us. This is something that they're doing out of the goodness of their heart, and they're willing to donate their time to us. So please make sure that you thank them. And then last but not least, this is always funny for me to say, but it has happened, and that's why we have to say it. So absolutely no nudity. So this is a family-friendly event. This is a park. It's a public park, so please make sure that you are planning your race accordingly. If you decide that you need to change clothes for some reason and completely get naked and put new clothes on, there's a bathroom for that. Don't do that inside the transition area or any area outside of the restroom. If you have any questions regarding this briefing, your athlete guide, anything like that, please make sure to reach out prior to race day. Like I said, it's wonderful to ask those questions on social media, because if you have a question, someone else might have a question as well, and then we can get that information out there even faster. I wish you a wonderful race, and we will see you at Kill Creek.